Australian inventions that changed the world. Yes, welcome back, you guys, to your American friend Jacob. Today I'm checking out some Australian inventions that I'm assuming I probably have seen before that I just did not know were Australian. Now, to be frank, I don't know how high Australia is on the inventions list. To be honest, America's not even that high. Like, we've invented some things, but most of the inventions throughout history have all come from Europe.
Welcome back to another edition of Nifty Notions. Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Nifty Notions. I'm Jason.
And I'm Andrew. And today, Jason, I'm going to talk about, rather proudly I might add, Australian inventions that changed the world.
Do you mean beetroot on the Big Mac?
That was the McOz.
The McOz, sorry.
McDonald's did do a special Australian burger called the McOz. And yet, look, hey, for all you Americans out there, beetroot belongs on a hamburger, okay? It just does. And if you come to Australia, that's what you got to expect. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% going to try it, but I'm so nervous about trying
Now,
that.
Australian inventions. So I do have a few categories here. Life-saving innovations. I think that's where beetroot on the hamburger goes because, seriously. Oh, I think
Beetroot. It sounds like he's saying beetroot.
call it beet, by the way. We call it beetroot because it is the root that we're eating, not the beet.
Beetroot?
Okay,
Beetroot.
First one off the block. Think planes, because you like planes.
I do.
The black box flight recorder.
That is one of the most significant inventions in aviation ever done.
It is.
Why is it
Yeah,
orange?
that is huge.
It's a reddish orange. It's a standard international colour for something that is life-saving.
A black box isn't black? It's orange. I know there's probably a reason that it's called a black box. Emergency, maybe, like dark. Yeah, that would make sense. Like if all communication goes down, you're going dark. It's a black box, but hilarious that it's orange.
Even though it's not life-saving. The lifeboats on ships painted the same sort of colour.
Yeah, that's right. They do.
And oftentimes guards on equipment are painted similar sort of orange.
And the life rings.
So it's a standard sort of emergency colour. It sort of stands out against everything else because it's not a...
Yeah, if there's like an accident or something and they're trying to find it, you want it to like stick out so that they can get it, not be black, like blended into something.
So as an engineer, I used to design equipment.
You identify it.
We'd always put it on guards, you know, where there was machinery moving, so you know that's something. So it's all related to that.
Yeah.
But it was actually invented after a crash in 1934 in Australia. And now pretty much all commercial aircraft need it, and some non-commercial aircraft have it as well. Certainly military aircraft have it. The cochlear implant. That's an Australian invention. What? So 1978, Professor Graham Clark.
I saw someone wearing one of these today. That is crazy. You never ever see these, and I literally saw a bald guy wearing one today. That's so wild. What a coincidence.
Wow. Invented, otherwise known as a bionic ear.
Yeah.
So it is an implant. So they do some head surgery to get it in there. But I have a client of mine who I remember when I first met her, she was lip reading. I didn't realise that she was deaf. Yeah. And I'd be talking away and she'd turn her head, or actually she'd turn her head and I'd start talking to her and then she'd turn back and I'm like waiting for the answer. Yeah. She had no idea. And then so I realised that I had to talk slower and louder. And then I hadn't seen her for a few months and she came in and I'm yelling at her. She said, "Why are you yelling at me?" I'm like, "What?" She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got a cochlear implant. I can actually hear now."
Amazing.
So that's really...
Oh, wow. I gotta talk to, we had, it was around Christmas time, we had some, well, we went over to my brother's house, we had some visitors of friends, their parents, and one of the mother was actually the exact same, could like barely hear and reads lips. I was blown away by it. I was like, wow, that's gotta take some serious skill.
For me, that was something new to see, actually, someone who had benefited from that. So literally went from deaf to being able to hear. So I think she was originally able to hear, so it wasn't like a complete learning experience for her. This is a really good one. Dr. Fiona Wood in Perth in the early 2000s had developed spray-on skin. She's a dermatologist, and this is especially for burns victims. So that top layer of skin is burnt off, and she had managed to work out a spray-on skin that would heal and reduce scarring. Amazing. So that's a really wonderful invention. That's gone all around the world. So that was a really remarkable...
Yeah, I think we had something similar. Yeah, when we would burn ourselves, What was that shit called? But it came in like a nail polish holder, and then you would take it and you would like brush it over the area, and then you would get like spray on skin.
Thing.
Wow, Australia.
The ultrasound scanner, that's an Australian one, 1950s.
The ultrasound scanner?
The Melbourne's Commonwealth Acoustic Labs had developed that, so that's used for all sorts of diagnosis.
Absolutely.
Certainly in pregnancies, but even
That's
for
a huge
checking
one,
internal
right?
organs.
Yeah.
So that's great.
How many
The
lives
electronic
that thing
pacemaker,
saved?
another Australian invention.
Pacemaker.
All
Yeah.
medical, a ton of medical
1926.
stuff.
My dad had one. Yes.
Yeah, so that was the prototype for modern heart pacemakers, but pacemakers are another Australian
World
invention.
changing.
Yeah. This
Wow.
next category is the everyday game changers, as we're calling it.
Okay.
Ready for this one, folks? Wi-Fi
should be
is
fun.
Australian.
Wow.
Wi-Fi. The CSI.
Shut the front door. Wi-Fi was invented by an Australian? That's nuts. Why did I think that that was like Swedish? Or that's Bluetooth, and it's not Swedish. Is it Swedish? I can't remember. I don't know. Wi-Fi.
Right. It's a
though.
government-funded thing, and they've done a lot of great innovations and, also bushfire
How
research,
the fuck do you
climate change
invent
research.
Wi-Fi?
So it's a Commonwealth of Australia organisation. But 1992 is when they developed Wi-Fi. And
Was it that late? I'm surprised because it's been around for an awful long time.
yeah, but it wasn't before 1992. When was it?
No, because I remember growing up in the mid 90s and there was no Wi-Fi. I mean, it had been invented literally 1 year after I was born, but I don't think when did we all start getting Wi-Fi? That wasn't until like the mid 2000s, huh? Everything was dial up until about 02, 03 maybe.
When do you think you put Wi-Fi in? Somewhere.
Early 2000s.
Maybe a little earlier.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those things that really grabbed the market and
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and smartphones
just replaced my
really
Wi-Fi
made that
yesterday.
an
Oh, yeah.
issue,
Oh,
more
yeah.
so than laptops and computers, because they're usually plugged in. But
Yeah.
smartphones. So, here's one that just about everyone around the world uses: Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Maps.
Is an Australian invention.
Yeah,
But Google's
Lars.
an American company.
Google is an American company, but two Sydney-siders, Lars and Jens Rasmussen.
Sound very Australian.
Yeah, well, that's a very Danish kind of set of names there. They had a Sydney startup where they had proposed this and worked it out and sold it to Google. And
Wow.
they worked with Google in Sydney
That's
to
crazy.
develop the first part of Google Maps, and then it went international. So Sydney was actually the place where it all started.
So almost everybody with a phone's use that.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's been, Apple have then gone into their own thing and
Yeah.
and so forth. So that's gone around the
I prefer Apple over Google. I don't know. It just seems to work so much better. Google is like a pain in the ass to use sometimes.
All right, here we go.
Do you guys remember like when you would have to drive somewhere before we all had maps on our phones, and you would I don't know if it was Google Maps or it was some other website where you would go to and print up your maps to go for your drive if you were going somewhere and you didn't know how to get there, and then you'd have like all these papers with you while you're driving.
Electric
Those are
drill.
good times.
The electric
The electric drill. Not 1889.
electric drill?
I was guessing it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
That's been
and that was patented back then. Arthur James Arnott.
wow.
First ever patented in 1889. Mechanical refrigeration.
Damn, that's been around for a long time.
A refrigerator.
So Australia gave the world modern refrigeration. In the 1850s,
Makes sense with how hot it is, right?
James Harrison built the first practical vapor compression fridge.
He was like, I can't take
which
this
was
shit
powered
anymore.
by either alcohol or ammonia. He set up an ice making machine on the Barwon River in Geelong in Victoria, Australia, and then launched the first commercial model in 1854. By 1861, breweries and meatworks were using his systems with a dozen units already running. The wine cask.
Every essential party item, particularly at university.
Yeah.
Okay, when I think of a wine cask, I don't know. I thought of like a shelf or something. I don't know. How about a dumb
I
moment?
was a real fan of the wine cask in the 70s, and I remember he used to entertain a lot of foreign business people, and our relatives from overseas would come, and he'd be going, "Look at our Australian invention. This is one," because my father has 25 patents, so he's an inventor.
Really?
Yeah.
25 pages?
Do you hear my daughter screaming? I feel like that's coming through. Oh gosh. Real world here.
He was big in inventing things.
Wow. We were talking before, we don't see so many casks these days. It was very popular growing up.
I think it was sort of restricted to the cheaper wines.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a wine.
Go figure. I don't know. You don't see it so much these days. Maybe there's a nostalgia or something for bottles. But one thing you don't see these days with bottles is corks.
That's true. Yes.
Not in Australia anyway. It's all screw tops now.
Yeah, I think that's a worldwide trend as well.
Yeah, I mean less wastage with wine. I mean, there's a romantic side of having a cork pop out of the bottle.
Yeah, I like a cork.
I know. Less fulfilling. You don't get the pop.
The Hills Hoist. The hell is that?
Here we go, 1940s, the Hills Hoist. So we're in another category now, the outdoor and practical bits.
Well, the Hills Hoist is so Australian.
It is. It is wonderful. A backyard
I had one of
icon,
these growing
still
up.
in use today.
How funny.
It is all over the world. Could be restricted in some parts of the US in particular because they're very fussy about their lawns and their backyards.
But
Nope, I had one of these, and we used to hang all of our laundry on it. It was really useful. I miss hanging laundry. The clothes turn out so much better than putting them like in a dryer.
Around the world, they don't know what the term Hills Hoist is.
No, they probably don't. So there's a picture on the screen at the moment. It's a backyard apparatus that you use to hang your clothes on, and the idea is
spin it round.
That the wind will spin it around, and you can raise and lower it. Look, I believe that NASA used one on the face of the moon when they were with their flag. Now, if you have a look, it looks like a Hills Hoist. It's holding the flag up without three of the arms on it because the Hills Hoist got crossed like this. But it looks like they've used a Hills Hoist.
Okay.
I'm guessing they either somehow might have spilled their coffee in the spacecraft and got the flag wet and they were out leaving it out to dry, or they were just trying to use it to hold it up. I'm not sure what, but it looks like a Hills Hoist without three of the bits on it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I would consider that a Hills Hoist then, if it's like missing 3 bars. But yeah, maybe. Or it could just be a flagpole.
I've just made that up, but
yeah, it's an interesting one. Hills Hoist goes to the moon.
Victa.
The Victa lawnmower. So Victa, V-I-C-T-A, was a Sydney-based company, and their lawnmower was the first motorised rotary lawnmower in the world, which now is kind of standard in backyards, but that was developed in Australia.
Damn. Makes so much
sense. The dual
sense.
flush toilet. Now, this doesn't apply to Americans because you have those lakes that you sit on. And no one else does that anywhere else in the world except in American hotels. I've noticed that I've visited in different parts of the world. But that's a typical American thing. So you're not going to have a dual flush toilet because it doesn't work with that kind of siphon system. But you come to Australia, go to Europe and Asia, you're going to find dual flush toilets where you have...
Everywhere.
The little button is for number ones, because you don't need as much water, and the big button is for...
You know what? We've actually started integrating these quite a bit into the U.S. Not everyone has them, especially we didn't really start seeing them for, I'd say like 5 to 7 years ago. I had one though in my previous house and definitely helpful, especially when you don't need to flush as much water. But I just imagine the ingenuity of Australians like, we need to save our water. Let's not try and waste as much. So the thought popped into someone's head to create that, which we don't really have too much of that problems unless you're in like a couple of different areas like Arizona or maybe California.
Big dump, number 2s. Much more water. So
don't have to be that precise, but that's fine.
I'm an engineer. I just want to make sure that everyone understands what I'm saying.
Yeah, hence the duality of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
These are fun. Speedo swimwear.
Speedo swimwear. Come on, Speedo's uniquely Australian. Also known colloquially as...
budgie smugglers.
That's it. Use your imagination. Use your imagination.
What is a budgie smuggler?
Jason, what is a budgie smuggler?
The budgie is a bird.
Yes, a little bird.
Yeah, normally tweets.
Yeah.
I actually know what a budgie smuggler is. Obviously, we're on the topic of Speedos, but if I did hear budgie smuggler, I would recognize it.
And a smuggler is where you smuggle things and put things in.
A bag, and it might bulge.
It might bulge because you're smuggling things, right? Like a bag on the back of your shoulders.
Yes.
What's the next thing you got?
Right, let's move on. Use your imagination, folks. The ute.
Oh.
The utility vehicle, the pickup truck.
The pickup truck was Australian.
The ute. I don't know if I've heard the ute yet maybe I came across that.
Yes, 1934.
Wow, that's so American.
Well, they borrowed it, didn't they?
What makes a utility
yeah,
truck a utility truck,
story
though?
is there was a farmer whose wife wanted to have the car to use during the week for the farm.
Wait,
Farmer whose
what
wife
did that say? Need to carry wife and pigs created coupe utility.
to have the car to use during the week for the farm work, but be able to go to church on Sundays with it. And they had communicated to Ford, and Ford said, all right, we'll just chop the car in half and put a tray on the back. There's your car.
Wow.
And it was immensely popular.
Yeah.
So one of the ironies is the guy who was in charge of designing it had one of the old ones, the originals, and about 10 or 20 years ago was in a car accident in that, and he died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, it's such a sad story.
I think it's been enough
Polymer
time, though.
contact lenses are Australian, developed at the University of New South Wales in Sydney.
Contact lenses.
Contact
Polymer
lenses.
contact lenses, they're originally glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plastic,
The ones
flexible
now
ones.
you put on.
They were originally glass? That sounds like a serious hazard, putting glass.
Your eyes, right?
Yeah, yeah, but they were originally glass.
Right.
And then the Australians had developed them in plastic.
Something more practical.
Yeah, disposable,
Yeah.
more practical, and
And that's dangerous because it became glass on your
yeah,
eye.
because they're really not prone to breaking.
Yeah.
So if you have an impact to your eye and you've got a glass there, that's not ideal, especially when it's right in contact.
I can't believe they started out making them as glass. That's crazy.
Medical pen injectors for like insulin and for adrenaline.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
like an epipen.
Yeah, for anaphylactic shock. So that's an Australian invention as well.
Wow.
Some other
Quantum
stuff. All
computing
right.
research, Sydney and Sydney University and University of New South Wales were at the global forefront of that.
And
And
it's a very in thing at the moment where everyone's trying to act, how do you speed this up, particularly with AI and quantum computing.
So-
that's the two big things out there in technology.
yeah, so I mean, we may be a small country over here in the middle of absolutely nowhere and far away from everything, but we're capable of producing some important stuff. I know that my father, who, as I said, has multiple patents, was
I don't know
heavily
anything about
involved
quantum
in,
computing.
and he has 3 patents covering it at the time in reducing acid rain, which was really an issue in
Really?
Northern America. Yes,
Wow.
Northern Hemisphere.
So he's got a patent for reducing it.
Yeah, flue gas desulfurization.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
So to do with coal-fired power stations, because North European, German coal and most European coal is not that good. It's got a lot of sulfur. It's brown coal. It's got a lot of sulfur in it. Australian coal is actually really good.
Yeah.
I don't want to get people upset with with environmental stuff here, but the truth is, for a lot of time,
okay.
coal-fired power stations were the norm.
Yeah.
And if they were using
That makes me so sad that he's like talking about coal and he's like afraid of upsetting environmental people. And I know environmental people watch my show as well, but like you need energy.
coal-fired power stations were the norm.
Yeah.
And if they were using brown coal, because that was cheap and available, the brownness came from the sulfur in the coal. Was a good Australian coal is just black as. There's no sulfur. It's pure carbon.
Yeah.
So that would, when you ignited that, it would release sulfur into the atmosphere, and that sulfur would react with the water vapor in the clouds, and that would create sulfuric acid, and that would rain down, and that would kill vegetation and streams and rivers and lakes and stuff.
Yeah.
So my father was involved, and he has patents involved in flue gas desulfurization, and you don't hear about acid rain anymore.
Thanks to your dad.
Well, he was involved. I'm not saying he was the only person. There were other people involved, but yeah, he was heavily involved.
He was involved.
There we go.
That's amazing.
So that's that for Australian inventions. I think we've covered up. I think there's covered enough. I think there's enough.
That was really interesting. A lot of good stuff there. Nifty Notions is the name of the channel. Guys, go show them some support. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. Give them a thumbs up. Good video. It looks like they might have just got started. They only got like 1,000 subs. So go show them some love. I really enjoyed that. Interesting. And now I have this roll a bank of information in my head of like cool Australian inventions that I learned about. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.